coming up on ATV FastCast.
I'm just trying to get part of it working. This is kind of a long-term project.
We'll show you how this ukulele was part of a coding competition.
This has been talked about for more than 20 years.
The dream of several Logan mayors is now open. We'll show you what's inside the new library.
In sports, I'll show you why the Aggies are feeling 22 in the most recent men's basketball poll.
All that and more, this is ATV FastCast.
From the campus of Utah State University in Logan, Utah, the Department of Journalism and Communication presents the award-winning newscast, ATV News.
Thunder, hail, and snow dominated Cache Valley's weather over the weekend. Will we see more in the coming days? Katie White will have that for us in ATV weather. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Kaylee Moss. Utah held its presidential primary last night. President Joe Biden won the Democratic primary in a landslide over Marianne Williamson and Dean Phillips, collecting a reported 87.5% of the vote. Nationally, President Biden still needs more than 400 delegates to win the nomination. Former President Donald Trump is projected to win the Republican nomination for the Beehive State with 57.7% of the vote over Nikki Haley's 41.2%, with 78.8% of precincts reporting. Utah's Republican Party held caucuses instead of a traditional primary election. How much pizza have you eaten for an all-nighter study session? One competition at USU have put their amount of pizza eaten well into the hundreds. Students from ASU, BYU, BYU, Utah, USU, and others from the Intermountain West came to Logan for Hack USU, a 24-hour competition to complete a project to determine who can code the best. One competitor was trying to build a self-playing ukulele.
This is like my second version of it. I created a first version, but I was having issues, and so yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get something working this time.
Hall says that while he wasn't aiming to finish the whole project by morning, he wanted to get some meaningful progress on his ukulele.
Thank you.
Hack USU's organizer says the event went through 200 pizzas.
That is the official food of a hackathon. I think pizzas, energy drinks, snacks, it's what we keep them fueled with.
Even though many of the teams of four had never met each other, teams in the past went on to market their product into a working company. Competitive categories included cybersecurity, game development, and AI and machine learning. After 20 years of dreaming, Mayor Holly Danes says, and 2 years of construction, the Logan Library is open to the public. A string quartet played at the grand opening Monday, where crowds of people gathered at the new 3-story building. Mayor Holly Danes thanked donors for contributing more than $1 million, which helped build extra space.
A library is just something that every member of the community can use as a resource, so we're delighted to provide that opportunity.
Tree columns decorate the children's area where kids and adults can read at tables under the leaves. This is just one of the new areas Mayor Danes says was thoughtfully designed. The library is located at 285 North Main Street. It's open Monday through Saturday until 6 p.m. Library staff says they will extend hours as they, quote, figure things out. A new study ranks Utah as number 9 in the country for fatal crashes while drivers are trying to get around each other. Like this one, it wasn't fatal, but damaged or totaled 6 vehicles. The driver was passing another vehicle. The study shows out of nearly 2,000 crashes, 52 were fatal in the last 4 years. That's 13 crashes a year from people trying to pass. Sergeant Cameron Roden with Utah Highway Patrol said,
drivers need to make sure that they know what distractions affect them and then take the steps to reduce those.
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said passing is not a risk-free situation on the road. It can still be a risk for getting involved in a crash. The Cache County clerk held a press conference Friday evening regarding local election handling violations. County County Clerk David Benson presented his response to the findings of an investigation by Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson's office. The investigation centered on how votes of a county residents were counted during the most recent local elections.
I voluntarily recused myself so that the investigation would go unhindered and would be as thorough and as quick as we could make it.
The office said what they found was deeply troubling. According to a letter from Henderson to Benson, her office found, quote, an unprecedented lack of controls, widespread violation of Utah election law, and a pointed disregard for policy and practices. Established by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, Benson answered questions regarding the investigation following his explanation. Details regarding Cache County's response can be found on our Facebook page. The National Weather Service issued a code blue for Thursday. They expect temperatures to drop to at least 15 degrees, including wind chill in 9 counties. The affected counties include Cache, Box Elder, Morgan, Summit, Utah, and Wasatch. Unhoused people in Cache and Box Elder counties can take shelter at the William A. Bernard Warming Center in Logan. Those trees are the greenest things I've seen all week. The current temperature is currently 41 degrees. And coming up,
show your body that your mind has more control.
We'll show you what had people running into icy waters. Plus, in sports, Ryan Lawrenson joins us in studio to show you how the Aggies are feeling 22.
The surplus store. Someone's trash is about to be my treasure. We have cords and cables here. We have bags full of towels and sheets.
That was screaming in my ear, you guys.
Because we don't. We got keyboards, paint cans, whatever this is, typewriters, computer monitors. It's destiny on the line, and we want you at surplus.
Products are not guaranteed to work. All sales are final. This commercial is not endorsed by Utah State.
It was after shooting with your phone that you wanted to up your game, so you got a better camera. But your shots were shaky, so you got a tripod. But your audio was fuzzy, so you got a mic. But your shots were dark, so you got some lights. Now you got all this equipment, but you don't know how to use it. So you enrolled in Intro to Video.
So we're looking at our national radar first. As you can see, there's some storms moving in on the east coast. Up in the north, they'll be expecting some heavy rainfall and winter storms down in the south. There's a second front as well over on the west coast from about mid to southern California, as well as in the Midwest up by the Great Lakes. And then we'll take a little bit, we'll look a little more at Utah. So here in Utah, we are seeing some winter storms. Mainly we're looking at some big temperature drops. Kaylee mentioned earlier that there's a code blue expected for tomorrow, meaning that the temperatures are going to drop to 15 degrees or lower with wind chill. So that's something to be on the lookout for across the state. And then we'll take a look at our week. So today it was pretty warm after those rains we had last night. It will continue to be kind of warm going into tomorrow, but then we see those drastic drops to 19 and 15 degrees moving into the weekend. And then as we move into the beginning of next week, those temperatures are going to rise back up, but we'll be seeing some more precipitation, snow, rain. So that is everything that we have for weather. Back to you at the desk, Kaylee.
Thanks, Katie. An icy cold competition between high schools looked very different this year. At this year's Polar Plunge in Hiram, warmer weather made it more of a run and dive instead of a plunge. Out of the more than 50 people who took the plunge, one Mountain Crest teacher says it was worth it for the cause.
Because it's for Special Olympics, I think there's a community part to it, and everyone wants to just support each other as everyone takes the plunge.
EMTs waded in the water to make sure everyone was safe. The competition raised more than $5,000 for Special Olympics.
That play was just one the Aggies made to earn themselves a much-needed late-season win, and they are winning when it counts lately. Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Brian Lawrenson. Let's head back to the Spectrum to see exactly how the Aggies soared over the Air Force Academy Falcons. It was another near sellout at the Spectrum, and the fans showed up for the Aggies. How'd the team do? Take a look here at Josh Aduje driving in from three-point land. Makes a nice fake out and jams it home. He had 11 points in his 30 minutes played, one of 4 double-digit scores for the Aggies. Now on to Air Force's Rydas Petrides, driving through Mason Falslev's coverage for a nice layup. The sophomore had 14 points in his 40 minutes. This game was all Aggies, though, as Javon Jackson makes a great steal on Bo Becker's pass intended for Luke Kearney and takes it all the way home. He had 2 steals on the night. And how about this drive-in from Falcon guard Ethan Taylor, but blocked by Great Osabor, one of his 4 in this game. Rebound to Falslev and a quick pass to Jackson for another easy couple of points. At the half, the Aggies showed a 13-point lead over the Falcons, 30-43. Moving into the second half, Air Force had a really hard time on this possession as Ian Martinez makes himself one of his 3 steals and dishes it to Jackson for another pair. He had 9 points on the evening. Now with just over 30 seconds left, Petrides makes this pass to Becker, who, even down 14, has just enough ice in his veins to drain this 3 over the 6'11" Khalifa Sacco. The Falcons battled hard, but not hard enough as the Aggies take their 3rd straight dub, 60-72. With that win, the Aggies maintained at 22 in the AP poll and moved up 1 spot from 23 in the coaches poll. The guys have just 2 more games this season, starting tonight at San Jose State. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. on CBS Sportsnet, and the Aggies boast a 67-19 record against the Spartans all time. Women's basketball played host to the 23rd-ranked Lady Rebels from UNLV last night for the final game of their regular season. It was senior night for the Lady Aggies, and despite having only 5 wins this season, spirits were still high. Getting things started in the first half, check out this determined drive from junior guard Cheyenne Stubbs, coming in here good for 2 points. And now moving down onto the other end, how about this dish from Lady Rebel Ashley Scoggin to Desiree Young for the easy layup. She had 11 points in just 14 minutes played. Back on the Aggie end, another nice drive from junior Macy Smith for another pair. The Aggies only scored 14 points in the first half, putting themselves in a deficit of 35 points at the break. Into the second half, the Aggies couldn't put a stop to the Rebels scoring fest like this 3 here from Alyssa Durazo Frescas. But that didn't stop Macy Smith as she practically dives to get this ball out of trouble and eventually into the hands of junior Ivory Finley, who sinks this from downtown. The Rebels showed why they are ranked in this game, especially after this steal by Amarachi Kimpson, who takes the ball all the way to the rim. After another dismal half of scoring from the Aggies, the Rebels came out on top 104-44. The Women's Conference Tournament is this weekend in Las Vegas, and they will play Boise State in the first round on Sunday with tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. Mountain Time. After splitting their weekend in California, the softball team took their 10th win of the season last night after a 9-5 win over Utah Tech. The team posted back-to-back 3-run innings, and the team is back in California this weekend for another 5 games. Men's tennis had themselves a doubleheader down in San Antonio over the weekend, also splitting their matches. They lost on Friday to UTSA 0-7 and won on Saturday against UT Arlington 4-3. They advanced to 9-2 on the season and are back in action on Sunday against Loyola Marymount University at the Sports Academy. Gymnastics hit the road last Friday to take on Air Force and San Jose State in a 3-team meet in Colorado Springs. The Spartans came out on top with a score of 196.45, the Falcons in second with 195.65, and the Aggies in last with 195.3. The team has a much-needed break before their road meet at Utah on March 15th. And football season tickets are on sale now. There's some exciting games coming to the MAV this season, including a Week 3 matchup versus Utah, bringing back the Battle of the Brothers. For details on season tickets, check out our Facebook page. And now that you're all caught up on sports, I'll hand things back over to you at the desk, Kaylee.
Thanks, Ryan. And thank you for watching this edition of ATV FastCast. You can find this and other editions on our Facebook page. Have a great week, Cache Valley.